I'm Velda Dobson Davis, retired Chief Deputy Warden for the California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation. I had the opportunity to have a program presented to me by one of my inmate employees, Tiffany Holmes. A lot of people assume that everybody in prison has been addicted to drugs, has been a person on the streets, prostitution, and the such. I hope that the stories that you hear will let you know that these are persons just like you and I. They are professional women, they're college students, many of them are mothers. They had real lives, but they chose to drink and drive. And as a result of that behavior, they're in prison for life. Drunk driving, driving under the influence of anything is not only costly, it is deadly. Listen to their stories. I hope it changes you, changes your mind about picking up your keys after having had a drink.
My name is Kaylee Weisenberg. I'm 31 years old from Paso Robles, California. I'm a student at Cuesta Community College majoring in business, and I work as a caregiver for a 92-year-old woman named Elaine. I'm also a mother of one.
My name is April. I'm 31 years old. I currently work for the California Department of Corrections. I volunteer for various organizations within my community, and I'm currently enrolled in college for psychology.
Hi, my name is Simi. I'm 55 years old. I'm a wife, a mother, and a nurse.
Hi, I'm Tiffany Ann Holmes, 44 years old from Escalon, California.
Hi, my name is Melissa Dean. I am 44 years old. I am from Fallbrook, California, and I am a stay-at-home mother of 4 beautiful children.
Hello, my name is Magdalene Lisi. I'm 25 years old. I'm from Southern California, and I'm a mother to a beautiful little girl.
My name is Judith Ramirez. I'm 46 years old. I work at PTI Technology making filters for airplanes. I have 3 kids from Oxnard, California.
Hi, my name is Sipilai Lucky Barton. I live in the city of Riverside, and I was an OA2 at the Riverside County EMS Agency.
Hi, my name is Teresa. I'm 59 years old. I'm a manicurist. I've owned my own business for 35 years, and I'm married.
My name is Donna. I'm 55, a wife, a mother of 3, and a grandmother of 5.
I'm Seneca. I'm 38 years old. I'm from Fresno, California. I'm currently pursuing a degree in business, and I work as a care provider.
My name is Brittany Schutz. I am 30 years old. I currently work for a tax company as a bookkeeper, and I'm pursuing a degree in the medical field.
Hi, my name is Perla Vasquez. I'm 32 years old, and I'm an assistant business manager at a local radio station in Fresno.
My name is Sherry Wilkins. I'm a certified drug and alcohol counselor. I'm a wife, a mother, a grandmother, a sister, and a friend.
Hi, I'm Otila Pineda. I'm 26 years young and a single mother to a handsome little boy. I'm a college graduate and a certified medical biller and coder, and I was born and raised in Allensworth, California.
Hi, my name is Shamir Dorch. I'm 52 years old, and I'm a mother of 5 and a proud grandmother of 8. I'm a licensed cosmetology instructor, and I am certified in paralegal and hope to one day pursue a law career.
Hi, my name is Alyssa. I am 33 years old from Fresno, California. I'm the mother to 3 beautiful daughters, and I work 2 jobs, one at a clothing store and one at a grocery store, and I also attend Fresno City College.
Hi, my name is Michelle. I'm 49 years old. I'm from Grover Beach, California. I'm a cosmetologist. I've been in a relationship with my husband for 29 years. I'm a mother of 4 and a grandmother of 2. At the age of 16, I was in a horrible accident, and I was first introduced to prescription medications, narcotics. This led to a long life of addiction and alcoholism. Over the years, I had received several DUIs. Even with those, I never thought I could be capable of hurting another person. I was in complete denial. On October 1st, 2014, I decided to get behind the wheel one more time. I took a back road and I leaned down to get my phone. And in doing that, I felt the impact in front of my car. And something hit my windshield. I still didn't believe it was a person. With that man, he was laying on the ground fighting for his life, and I didn't stop. It wasn't until I went to court that I really realized, when I saw the picture of his helmet strapped in my front seat, that I had really killed a human being. He was just out for an innocent bike ride, and I took his life. I'm now in Karen Chowchilla, serving 15 to life for the second-degree murder.
I can't think of anything normal about my life. At the age of 15, I was addicted to crack cocaine. My mother was an addict and my father was a police officer. On December the 17th, while driving home after a night of partying, I fell asleep. I rode the curb for like 75 feet. When I hit a pole, my car landed at a standstill, and I stepped out, and there was liquid draining from the car. Or I thought it was liquid draining from the car. It was blood. I had hit a man and killed him. I took a man's life. I'm now serving 17 years for vehicular manslaughter with gross neglect.
Being raised in an old-fashioned Mexican family, I was always taught that women were supposed to be strong. And so feelings were a form of weakness, and you should hide them at whatever cost. Alcohol became that coping tool and gave me the confidence I needed to deal with life's stresses. On December 28, 2014, I decided to go out with a few friends and have a few beers in order to help me deal with a breakup. After having those few beers, I had to head home, so I went home, never making it because I blacked out, swerved, and killed a 57-year-old man. He never made it home and I never made it home. Today, my victim's family will never see the month of December the same because my victim's birthday is in December, Christmas is in December, and his death is also in December. Today I am serving a 15 to life sentence for second-degree murder, and I am now CDCR number WF6361.
I grew up in a home where I never learned to deal with my emotions or feelings. I turned to drug and alcohol at an early age to deal with the abuse and trauma I went through. I started getting in trouble and acting out. Things were just really normal to just be loaded all the time. It was a normal function for me. When I was 48 years old, I was working as a drug and alcohol counselor. I went to the liquor store after work and I got some alcohol. I sat in my car, I drank it, I drove about 200 yards, and I killed a 32-year-old man who just happened to be related to one of my patients at work. So many people suffered, and I affected so many people because I didn't ask for help. I wish I would have asked for help. Yeah, I'm serving a 15 to life sentence with 2 5-year enhancements for a DUI murder.
So growing up, alcohol played a big factor in my life. It was everywhere. Growing up in a Mexican family, we had it at every barbecue, every birthday party, every funeral, quinceañera, wherever we were, there was alcohol. My dad was an alcoholic, my uncles are alcoholics. It was just something that was normal. It wasn't a big deal. At 21, I started drinking very heavily. I was highly depressed, I was really sad, and I just hated my life, so I drowned myself in alcohol. Even though in 2005 and 2009, I lost 2 people who meant the world to me, my best friend and my dad. They were both killed by drunk drivers. After that, I didn't know how to handle the emotion and the grief, so I just continued to drink and drink and drink. February 11, 2012, I was driving home after a night of partying and hanging out with my friends, and I hit what I thought was the divider of the freeway. I proceeded home, parked my car in my car lot, and went in and went to sleep. I woke up the next day to the police at my door. It turns out I didn't hit the freeway. While driving home, I hit and killed a 24-year-old Caltrans worker who was at work setting up cones. And I didn't know, so I went home. I am now serving a 17 years, 4-month sentence for gross vehicular manslaughter with a GBI enhancement, a DUI with a hit and run enhancement. I started drinking at a very early age. I come from a family where the men are okay to drink, but the women aren't. I started drinking at the age of 13. My aunt started taking me to the clubs at the age of 11. I thought it was okay to party and grew up that way. But I held a lot of shame because it was very unladylike for a female to drink alcohol. I also held a lot of secrets that I didn't speak about. From the outside, I seemed very put together. I had a great job, a nice car. I was very family oriented. And in my head, I did nothing wrong, but I really lived a double life. When I went to bed, I was very lonely and I used to cry myself to sleep. I didn't know what was going on or what was wrong, and I didn't know how to cope. So I drank my sorrows away. I had prior DUIs, and there was just no way that I could look at myself as it was a problem. But sadly, I was in such denial that there was just too much shame to even think about that there was anything wrong with me. On the night of October 21st, 2011, it's a night that I can never forget, and I hurt so many people in the process. I took a life while drinking and driving. This 54-year-old man was just trying to come home from work, from a long day's work, back to his family, and I ruined everything for them. I'm doing a life sentence, 15 to life sentence for drinking and driving, and I am now a murderer.
I grew up in a household full of violence, rage, anger, and molestation at the earliest ages of 8 years old. Eventually, this turned into my drinking alcohol and turning to partying and friends to help deal with all that was going on at home. By the age of 18 years old, I received my first DUI, sitting there watching videos of what can happen from the outcomes of DUI collisions. By the age of 20 years old, a night out with old friends led to not only changing my life forever, but my victim's life too. I ran a red light at going over 80 miles per hour, later finding out that I had been responsible for murdering somebody. I am now serving a 15 to life sentence, second-degree murder, for the life of a 26-year-old woman who was soon to be engaged.
I lived a very careless lifestyle, and I used alcohol to cover up the pain. On January 8th, 2010, I got a call from my friend. He wanted to come over and hang out. I went to go pick him up. We ended up partying all night long. In the midst of that, we ended up getting into an argument. He asked me to take him home. So on the way of me taking him home, we ended up fighting in the car. So when he got out the car, I ended up running him over, taking his life. I stay here on a 15 to life sentence for second-degree murder and DUI.
At the age of 13, my life was already a mess. I didn't ask for help at that point. I found alcohol as a solution to all my problems. It numbed, took me away from everything. I didn't have to deal with life on life's terms. I married, I had children, life was good. Through a divorce, I fell apart, I couldn't handle it. I still didn't ask for help. I continued my drinking. On July 28, 2007, I hit and killed a 76-year-old man. I took him away from his family. He was a father, a grandfather, a brother, a friend. Every time I tell my story, it affects somebody else. But I tell my story in hopes that it touches someone and they don't have to go through what I've gone through. I am now serving a 15-year to life sentence at CCWF.
Hi, I used alcohol throughout my life to deal with my internal and external problems. I grew up with low self-esteem and low self-worth. I had a very poor self-image, but I found that after a couple of drinks, I had the ease and comfort that I so desperately needed. So I used alcohol to deal with everything. I was very secretive about it. I covered it up. I had 4 prior DUIs, and I also spent 90 days here in prison in the reception center for a DUI, and I still didn't learn, because each time I got out, each time after the arrest, I began concocting the lies and cover stories for my behavior and arrest. That's all I was concerned about, putting everything in order and making everything look normal from the outside. I never sought recovery, therapy in any way. On April 23rd, I was again living my secret life. My husband was away at work, on business, out of town. My children were in school. It was in the middle of the day, and I was running family errands. I knew I shouldn't be driving, but there was always that little voice in my head telling me that I would never hurt anyone. But an hour after I left my home, I hit an innocent man head on and killed him instantly. I destroyed many lives that day. I'm here in prison now, serving 19 to life. And this one, I cannot cover up. Thank you.
Prior to October 5th, 2012, my life seemed great. I owned my own business. I had a wonderful home, husband, but it wasn't on the inside. It was bad. So secretly, I was doing drugs, methamphetamine to be exact. I had done them in the 80s for about 10 years, and then I was clean for 22 years. I relapsed, and on October 5th, 2012, I went to go to work. I fell asleep in my car in the garage, which should have been my first sign that I don't need to go nowhere, but it wasn't. So I left. I went down to Starbucks, got me some coffee, sat in the parking lot and did a line so I could stay awake. Didn't make it to the freeway before apparently I fell asleep, ran a light, and hit a young man crossing the street. My victim didn't die right away. He laid in a hospital for 2.5 months on life support before his family had to choose to pull the plug on him. I've never been in trouble in my entire life for anything, but your life can change that fast. And I'm now serving 15 years in a California state prison.
My life was a struggle. Trying to balance going to school, work, and raising a daughter on my own after leaving an abusive relationship is really hard. I'm drained mentally, emotionally, and physically. To cope with this, I use methamphetamine, and I am in denial about how my addiction affects anybody else in my life. On June 27, 2010, I got behind the wheel of my car while I was high, as I had done many times before, without consequence. But on this day, I came to a man standing in the middle of the road, directing traffic. He was a CHP officer. I overreacted, and I will never forget the look in his eyes as we collided. He was 48 years old, and he died in the hospital that night. And I was 22 years old when I was convicted of murder and sentenced to life.
I made an impulsive decision to leave my house this day. I've been drinking all day. I didn't know how to deal with my emotions. I was the caretaker in my family. My parents had just lost their house, and so I took them in. I was in an unhappy marriage, and I didn't know how to deal with everything that was put upon me. I was overwhelmed. On Friday, June 13th, 2014, I decided to leave the house. I got in my car, and I backed up and killed my dad. He was just trying to stop me from driving drunk because I've done it so many times. I'm sorry. I feel that he saved my life. I was on a downhill spiral. I was on a mission to a suicide mission, and I think he knew it. I miss you so much. I'm gonna do good for you. Always. I'm now serving a 15-year sentence for gross vehicular manslaughter while intoxicated.
I grew up in a household where on the outside things looked great, but on the inside everything was broken. There was physical abuse, verbal abuse, and severe financial problems. At age age 18, I started working for the California Department of Corrections. At age 21, after a night of drinking, I got in a car wreck. The police took me home and they gave my mom mad brochures and nothing was ever recorded about it. At age 24, on April 24th of 2011, 3 young adults were on their way to a gas station, and at 11:30 at night, after a night of drinking, wrecked into their car. The driver was in a coma for a couple months. The passenger was ejected from the vehicle, and I'm now serving a 13-year sentence.
I've been drinking alcohol since I was 15 years old. Didn't seek for help because I thought alcohol was harmless. On May 2010, I went to a family party. With me was my daughter, 17-year-old daughter, my 4.5 years old son, and my daughter's friend. I was drinking at the party. I decided to leave from the party to go somewhere else. I thought I was okay to drive, however I wasn't. That day, I got in a car wreck. When I woke up from the car wreck impact, I woke up to the ambulance and the CHP patrol at the scene. I remember asking about my daughter and my son. The ambulance man told me, "Ma'am, your daughter's not breathing at this time." After hearing that, they pulled me out, took me to the hospital. There at the hospital, after a while, they told me, I looked up and I seen my brother and a priest coming in the hospital. And that is when they told me that I had killed my 17-year-old daughter. Since then, I've been locked up serving a sentence from 15 years to life with 12 years enhancements under my 3rd DUI.
On May 27, 2016, life changed forever. I decided to pick my daughter up from her dad's house, and on the way to the beach with my daughter in the back seat, I was drinking and driving on my way to the beach. When we got to the beach, we did what we normally do, played in the sand, ate some food, and just had a good time. I noticed that it was starting to get dark, so when she was tired, so I was like, I think it's best if we go home now. We left the parking lot, and I didn't want to take Topanga Canyon Boulevard because I felt that we would get pulled over or something would happen, so I decided to take a different canyon. The last thing I remember is pulling into the left lane with my daughter.